A Delhi High Court judge has been transferred following the recommendation of the Supreme Court Collegium after a large amount of cash was recovered from his bungalow after a fire incident. Justice Yashwant Verma has been sent back to his parent court, the Allahabad High Court. Here's what happened. A fire reportedly broke out at Justice Verma's official residence when he wasn't in the city. His family members alerted the fire brigade and the police. After extinguishing the fire brigade personnel then discovered a huge amount of cash in different rooms of the judge's bungalow. Upon receiving this information, the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, convened a meeting of the Collegium. It was unanimously decided to transfer Justice Verma back to the Allahabad High Court, where he previously served till October 2021. Sources say discussions are also underway on starting an investigation and even initiating impeachment proceedings against Justice Verma. Even as there are serious questions about this particular judge and the action taken against him, you've got now political reactions also coming in. Kapil Sibal, who himself is a senior lawyer, has said that there must be a serious look within about corruption in the judiciary. Now, the Congress has questioned why there's been no strict action against the judge. Several opposition leaders have in fact raised questions over this.
Certainly, the issue of corruption within the judiciary is a very serious issue, and this is not something that has been articulated by senior counsel and lawyers in this country for the first time. It's been going on for years, and public statements have been made. So I think that it's time for the Supreme Court to start looking at issues of how the appointment process should take place, that it should be more transparent.
So you heard there from Kapil Sibal, who says that there must be a look within for corruption as well. There are serious questions being asked right now about why this judge is just facing right now a mere transfer and no action has been taken against him, because many would contend that finding these kind of piles of cash would amount to proof of corruption. And then it asks that larger question as well about whether this once again is just the tip of the iceberg and has confirmed something that's long been alleged about corruption within the judiciary, about judges being paid off for certain verdicts. So there is right now a look into all the verdicts also that Justice Yashwant Verma has also delivered as part of the Delhi High Court. He's now been sent back to the Allahabad High Court, where he served till October 2021. But from which source did these kind of cash piles come from? At this point, we don't have any answers, because there's been no formal investigation launched just yet. And we'll have to see whether now you will see some sort of probe to find out the source of this cash, whether this is actually proof of a judge being corrupt. Srishti Ojha is joining us with more details on this. Srishti, this particular case has made national headlines right now. Everyone's talking about this particular judge and how cash was recovered from his bungalow. We don't know really where these piles of cash came from, but there are questions about whether this is evidence of corruption within the judiciary. What's the process in this kind of a case, Srishti? Is it just a mere transfer?
Well, Akshata, as you rightly pointed out, it's a very shocking allegations. It's a very shocking case. Even the lawyers that we've spoken to, many of them have told us on the record that, this is an extremely shocking news, considering we're talking about a sitting Delhi High Court judge. The Supreme Court Collegium in this case had to hold an urgent meeting Thursday evening, and they decided unanimously to transfer the judge to Allahabad High Court, which is his parent High Court. This was after some adverse reports, were received against him, which is why this decision was taken. Our sources have also told us that they're also contemplating if an in-house inquiry is to be conducted against the judge, because as you asked me about the process, there are also certain protections that sitting judges, have. To enable that, they're independent and impartial when they decide cases that come before them. Usually the process is, even earlier when we saw in other cases, the collegium does have if they decide to order an in-house inquiry against the said judge, they will have to first give him a chance to respond. The Supreme Court Collegium can definitely ask the concerned judge to place his response before the collegium. Depending on whether they find the response satisfactory or not and how they wish to proceed ahead, they can also order an in-house inquiry against him. In this case, as we have seen, the collegium has first decided to recommend his transfer. He hasn't been transferred yet because, of course, the central government will have to approve the recommendation which has come in from the collegium. Now, important things that we need to see from here on is the exact amount of cash recovered. The exact allegations have not officially been communicated by
Explain something to us. You know, if there are these kind of allegations against a judge, a sitting judge right now of the Delhi High Court, he's of course been transferred. Is there a possibility of an external investigation? You did tell us that the Supreme Court Collegium could choose to go ahead and order an investigation, but that will be an internal one, of course. Can there be an external investigation by the police as well in this matter? Srishti, can you hear me?
That it will be the collegium and the CJ matter.
Yeah, go ahead.
With regard to this particular matter. Yes, as per the, if we talk about the in-house procedure to deal with such allegations of, corruption or wrongdoing against constitutional court judges, the Chief Justice of India takes action on receipt of any of such complaint. You're supposed to seek response of the said judge. After that, he sets up an in-house probe. A probe panel which will usually comprises of an SC judge and Chief Justices of 2 high courts. And in case he's not satisfied with the response or concludes that the matter requires deeper probe, that is a conclusion that the said panel will have to, come to, because we're talking about sitting high court judges. We'd also spoken recently to one of the former Supreme Court judges who would also, while discussing this, told us that the entire mechanism that we have to deal with complaints against judges is not very strong. Because there's a certain protection that they enjoy. That protection is also given to them because they're judges of constitutional courts, and you have to ensure and provide them with enough freedom so they can decide cases that come before them impartially. So the mechanism against them, as far as investigation is concerned, is not very strict and is not very clear. In this particular case, it has started off with a transfer recommendation. We've also been told by our sources that even judges who are part of the collegium, some of them said that were of the opinion that a stricter punishment is needed and the judge should also be asked to resign. Now, all these...
If that actually happens, because there is a view that yes, there must be stricter action and that there must be an investigation into exactly where these cash piles came from. Thanks, Srishti, for those details. Let's get you more reactions.
Transfer is a normal thing. This is not a stigma. And it is appropriate when such allegations... I am not admitting that there can be any situation of corruption, because I feel sometimes some people who are not getting favorable result, they may also plant. And here I feel when the judge was himself not there, family members were not there, and such thing happens, fire happens, and then video being made, I feel there is some suspicion, and the Collegium of the Supreme Court should make thorough inquiry.